So, yeah. Graveborn, Spellshot, Pet Build Guide. So, these weapons honestly don't matter. I just wanted some corrosive. So we'll start here. I use the SMGs that have 4 shots. I think they're always cryo or ice. I just use them because they're SMGs. They shoot fast, got a lot of projectiles. I use that for stacking and chances on the polymorph. So we use that. Anoints are on spellcast, increase dark magic damage on both weapons. This one, I just really like it. It's a good fire weapon. It came chaotic. It's got some auto aim. It's nice to use. Rings. Rings are nothing in this build is going to be absolutely perfect, but I'll go over what you should have. So companion damage, great. It's pet build. So ideally, you would want some sort of companion buff. So companion crit chance, spell crit chance also works, I think, because our hydras are spells. So we use that. Any of those kind of companion dark damage, it's pretty easy to tell with affixes whether they're useful or not. Like dark magic efficiency and ability, crit ability does work because our one of our main damages is the Demi-Lich, and I believe he does ability damage, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it the... No, it's the Hydras that do ability damage, which is also a lot of our damage. It's that and the Hellish Blast. That both. And I believe they are both ability damage. At least the Hydras are. Shield. The shield gives 25% companion damage. Another good option would be the shield that gives 20% bonus fire damage. It's a Rune Ward shield. Most Rune Ward shields are actually pretty good. So I tend to use those, but this is my go-to. While action skill is active, increase dark magic damage. Our Hydras deal dark magic damage. Our Demi-Lich does dark magic damage. So yeah. The key part of the build right here, class mod. It gives, or it converts 30% of our damage into dark magic damage. I think this affects our pets. I'm not actually sure, but either way, it gives dark magic damage. We like that. Companion damage and ability damage, great affixes here. Yeah. The perks could be better. Like, I'm not a Clawbringer, so that could roll better. And it doesn't actually give great perks. I'm only using for this convert 30% into dark magic. Next up, Amulet. 30% dark magic damage. That's why we use it. 20% action skill cooldown. Also really good. We do use cooldown in this build because we're not spell zerking. We're using the polymorph. Now, the most important part of the build. The Hydra spell. You can't just, you can use any Hydra, like when you're first starting to gear it. I even used a ward that spawned 2 Hydras just to stack a lot of them up all at once. But this is the best one I've seen so far. It works just amazing. And it needs to have the summons a Hydra companion that will spawn another Hydra whenever it is damaged, or whenever an enemy damaged by it is killed, has a small chance to spawn an additional Hydra when damaging a boss. This is key, because every time your Hydra hits something and then it dies to any of the other pets, it'll spawn another one, which will stack our Faithful Thralls, 9% damage per companion, through the roof. So we can have 10 stacks on this for 90% bonus damage for us and our companions, all of them. Yeah, I have not found a better one yet. If these can come in other elements, I'd probably do a Dark Hydra, like I'd have Dark Magic, but this is the only one I've found with this element so far. Again, things aren't perfect. Oh, and I forgot to mention the amulet here. When a Fate Maker or Companion kills an enemy, companion damage increased by 20% for 15 seconds. The stack stacks up to 5 times. So 100% companion damage bonus. Of course, best in slot, pet build. As for the skill tree, it's pretty common sense, I like to think. We cap out spell cooldown. We use spells. It's better than this option. We also max out Faithful Thralls because pets. Take 3 into Sanguine. It's healing. I use it. If you, for some reason, don't want to use it, or you have other ways to survive, you could try to drop them, but I keep them. Dark Magic, or Dark Pact, increase our dark magic damage. 30% of all damage going to dark magic. Our Hydras, spawned by the skill tree, are dark. Demi-Lich is dark. So yeah, that's pretty simple. I put 2 extra points in here, or 2 or 3 extra points in here. You can take 2 or so points out of this and put them somewhere else. We kind of have 2 free at the end. Harvest. Pets deal 18% more magic, or bonus dark magic damage. That's good. Dark magic damage, again, synergizing all over. Don't really need to go over that again. This perk, it gives us a 35% damage reduction, because 35% of the damage goes to our pet, and gives us a cheat death passive of 2-minute cooldown, where we'll eat our lich. This will lead to our lich dying more, so it can be a damage down, but I feel like we have the damage, so I like the survivability. You can play around with it if you want. Most important part, we grab 3 points into Dark Hydra. It's all of our damage. Yeah, simple. Ascension, probably one of the most broken skills in the game. You grab 6% max health and 6% magic damage, up to 10 times. Stack lasts 30 seconds, so they're always up. It's, we're not... It does boost the damage of our Hydras here. It's not the biggest thing, but that max health is very nice because it's more regen. I think it's too good being a 60% max health and 60% spell damage boost. We need to put the points somewhere. It's too good to pass up. 20% chance to double the damage on our Demi-Lich Hellish Blast. It does some of the most damage we have, so it's great. 20% damage boost to that. This is just kind of a 1-point wonder. I don't see it coming into effect that much, but for 1 point, it's just something you take. I have no points into this. It's all coming from the class mod. Ideally, we wouldn't take any of this because it's just not worth it. It doesn't do enough damage. But I guess it is ability damage. We're scaling a lot of it, so it's not bad, but I wouldn't take it over other things. Maybe you could try, if you seem to like it, you can take the points out of Dark Pact and put them here. Then we take the capstone. Spells give kill skills. Straightforward. So, polymorph. If you don't know what this does, we turn an enemy into a skeep, a skag sheep, and it floats around, you shoot it, and it will free cast our spells. So it free casts hydras all over the map, stacking up our faithful thralls. So we kind of play around damage windows to a degree, where we pop this and we just shoot it and everything dies. Spell crit damage, that affects our hydras critting. We like that. I like to take the gun damage because I like my guns actually doing a decent amount of damage because we're stacking a ton of spell damage between some of our things. It is optional. We're not, it's not too important, but I like it, so I take it. We are using a spell and an action skill cooldown, so 5 points into this. Font of mana every time. It just gives us everything we want. So we're going to take the 30% spell damage for Glass Cannon. So our ward will no longer normally regenerate, so we have to take this to get some restore. It's a nice, it combines really well with this. So we're getting 30% of our health and 10% of our ward every time we cast a spell. I don't believe it procs on the free cast from Polymorph, but that's okay. And then we take 3 extra stacks on high thread count, or 3 extra stacks of our spell weaving. So that's going to give us an extra 30% more spell damage. I think it's good just for these hydras. Again, they're not the bulk of our damage. It's actually these guys, but they do add up. They do help. So I take it. It's a 1-point wonder. And then when you finish to here, you can take these 2 points out of here, and we'd be left with those. I went back and put them into here. As for the character sheet stats, strength is all coming from myth rank. I didn't put any points into here. It's not worth it. It's too low of a bonus. Put a lot into dex. I get the 50% crit chance, or 50% bonus crit chance. It's hard to see here, but our companion crit chance is only 7.5, I think. I can't actually tell. Nah. I guess you could pause on it if you wanted to. Anyway, moving on. More importantly, intelligence. It's spell cooldown. We like spell cooldown. Status damage. I started with a lot of this, so I put a few points into it, but not actually that many. I start with a pretty big bonus to it from my character origin or whatever. Constitution's good here. We have a lot of health regen, a lot of ward. Well, the ward isn't actually up that much, but it means more sustain when we pop our spells. But most important thing you can get is attunement for the cooldown. The skill cooldown, because we're just waiting for our polymorph to come up. Yeah. See, yeah, it just cleared a 10. And for myth rank, if you care, yeah, that's the build. So I'm going to take it into a run now. Normal run at 10. Kind of give a show of how it plays. Protect the statue. Annoying objective. So we're just gonna shoot out a hydra. First of all, we gotta get stacking. Shoot that guy a bit and just try to get some hydras out. We do scale up over time, so it takes a second for all of our kill skills to start stacking. But it stacks every time we get a kill, and every time our pets kill, and every time we cast a spell, we get another stack as well. So it goes up pretty fast. Oh, that guy's immune to that. On the weapon, using the gold gives spell cooldown and action skill cooldown. So that's why when you see me meleeing things, it's just to get those extra bits of cooldown in downtime. That went really easy, really fast. So obviously the build can push a lot higher. I just haven't done it yet. I just wanted to wait until I cleared 10. We'll take Elemental Overflow. It's one of the hard ones. Just gonna do one more room of this and call it there. I believe this makes enemies immune to fire. So part of the reason we take the class item that splits our damage is to, ignore immunities. Like so, fire enemies and then dark magic. I don't think there's actually any enemies that are immune to that. But if they're resistant to it, we're split between fire and dark magic. So kind of ignore those elites. That's why I'm okay with taking Elemental Overflow as a modifier. You can see everything kind of just falls apart. Ability damage, spell crit chance, dark magic efficiency. Not worth it. Oh yeah, this account is already almost done. So try to polymorph the tankiest creature you can find so you can dump into them a lot more. And you just mag dump into these things. Yeah. That's the build.